result for Ipswich on the opening day of the season. No doubt the fans would have been fearing the worst, Dave, because, of course, you know, failing to hold on to Leeds last season was one of their unfortunate hallmarks.
Yeah, that's right. But they were fantastic today. I mean, they did a real job on Fulham. They conceded possession. They knew Fulham were going to have the majority of the possession. So they simply conceded the ball. And they hit them with a great counter-attacking goal. Murphy scored a terrific goal. Pace, power, and the finish was sublime. And they just contained Fulham all game.
How much of a reality check was that for your former club?
A massive one, and they need to learn very quickly. You know, Felix Magath, who I don't think a lot of people expected him to be in charge this year, but I think maybe it was the right decision to try and rejuvenate them. They were an old team last year.
Well, you didn't think he'd be in charge this season,
No, I didn't, because they went down with a little bit of a whimper from the Premier League, in all honesty. But, you know, he's brought a lot of young players in. There was only, 3 appearances, apart from Scott Parker in that side today. So, look, they've got to learn very quickly, but they've got to deal with the power, pace and aggression of the Championship. And they didn't do that very well, but there were good parts of their game.
Interestingly, of course, all eyes before kick-off on the new £11 million signing for Fulham, Ross McCormack, who was taken off at half-time, but one of the youngsters on view, Patrick Roberts, really did catch the eye, didn't he?
He certainly did. I mean, it was only 15 minutes, but he was absolute quality. Came on the right-hand side and really did give an impetus to the Fulham performance. Only 17, 18 in February. Already won the European Under-17 Championships with England, so he's had a really good upbringing, and I think he's going to play a major part in Fulham's season. I think there's a few big clubs eyeing him. They're going to have to keep hold of him, but I think looking at this performance in the Championship, he could have a really positive effect on Fulham's season.
Not many people talking up Ipswich's chances of getting promoted this season, Dave. And, you know, great for Mick to see both his strikers, Darryl Murphy and, of course, David McCodrick, come back from injury and both get on the score sheet. But what about Fulham, with all the changes that have gone on and Felix Magath's lack of experience in the Championship? Do you still expect them to be challenging?
I think they will. I mean, they've got the nucleus of a very good side there, and they've got some fantastic young kids. Scott Parker was exceptional today, and the moment they put young legs around him, he was able to get on the ball and bring them into the game. Corley Woodrow's another youngster with a huge future.
Which we got into of last season, of course. Yeah.
Exactly. Roberts, you know, that's another fantastic find. They'll do well to hang on to him, but he was, you know, that would have done his transfer fee the world of good today.
Yeah, true. Right, let's see how the other newcomers got on in the Championship, starting with Cardiff. The Bluebirds got their campaign underway at Blackburn Rovers on Friday night.
Like a handball there, and the referee, Andy Madley, has had instructions from his assistant on this near side, and indeed it is Cardiff City who are penalised. Handball, but was it just inside the penalty area? Kearney straight into the wall. That looks to be just inside the penalty area. Andy Madley may look back upon that decision as he's watched there by the new refereeing supremo, Howard Webb, who retired from refereeing this week. Foul on Jones. Gallant climbing all over him. Once again, as you can see, Hudson and Connolly have come up to the edge of the Blackburn penalty area. Whittingham with the free kick. Clear header. Jones! Kenwyne Jones! On the end of the touch-on from Mark Hudson. And Cardiff City get the first goal of the new Football League season. Cardiff had caused Blackburn all sorts of problems from their 3 previous corner kicks. And here you can see the central defender with the touch on, Hudson. And in by Kenwyne Jones. Kearney looks to place it and places it perfectly. Past Marshall, and Blackburn Rovers are back on level terms thanks to Tom Kearney. Whittingham dispossessed by Jordan Rhodes. Kearney creating a little bit of room for himself and able to curl it away from Marshall. And it's all square at Ewood Park. Delicate ball in. And not too far over from Gestad. Very promising start to the second half from Blackburn Rovers. It's got to be a foul. Conway is certainly the man who's lining this up against his former club. Conway! Marshall didn't even make an attempt to make a save.
You could have felt sorry for yourselves because maybe you say definitely should have had a penalty in the first minute.
Yeah, I think so. I think, it's a clear handball, and I think, the timing of the incident is irrelevant. It's, a penalty in our eyes. He's in the box and he's hit his hand, and we're disappointed we didn't get it. But, I thought, like you say, we recovered well.
Tonight, the supporters will be happy. A point away from home against one of the favourites. That's a good return.
A meeting of two clubs who experienced the best and worst feeling in the playoffs at Wembley back in May. Steve Evans' Rotherham have been itching to get their championship campaign started, whilst Derby have to regroup after missing out on the top flight with virtually the last kick. That said, judging from their start, there appeared to be no long-lasting effects. Simon Dawkins fired a warning as the Millers tried to find their bearings. In a sizzling atmosphere, the home side came tearing forward again. This time Cyrus Christie teeing up Johnny Russell, who was thwarted brilliantly by Adam Collin. Having survived the onslaught, Evans' men began asking questions themselves. Carrie Arneson's header stopped on the line by Will Hughes, and Kieran Agard failed with the follow-up. And as the Yorkshire club closed in on what would have been an excellent opening day point, another surge from Christie down the right opened the door for Jeff Hendrick. No wonder he's winning so many admirers. Despite the setback, the Millers displayed more of that never-say-die attitude that got them over the line last season. Right at the death, former Derby midfielder Paul Green was kept at bay by Lee Grant, before last season's top scorer Agard appeared destined to score. Craig Forsyth came to the rescue to ensure a winning start for Steve McLaren.
The start of the game was fantastic, first 20 minutes. Didn't get the goal and then got a little frustrated, but kept our patience and kept playing and kept possession all the way through, and eventually, we've got that quality that can win us games.
We're disappointed. We've lost to a good team that we helped frustrate, and in fact we went on to be the better team for long periods, and that's a lot of progress from 2 years ago, playing in League Two.
So plenty of positives to draw from as far as Steve Evans is concerned. I mean, interestingly, they were quite a gung-ho side last season, weren't they, in the league below? But we saw there, there's no shame in losing away to Derby, who were flying last season, but Rotherham certainly did frustrate the opposition in large spells.
I think Steve will be really pleased with that performance. Obviously not the result, let's not patronise them. They wanted to go there and get something. I thought that they deserved something out of the game. They scored 86 goals in League One last year. My concern was that they're going to go out and say, look, this is what works for us in League One, let's go and do it again in the Championship. Steve's recognised that. You can't go and be as open as they were last year, and I thought that performance was as good an away performance as you'll see this season, and they certainly deserve something from the game.
And Dave, while Derby were far from their scintillating best, that's exactly what Steve McLaren wanted, just to blow away any, I suppose, talk of a possible hangover from what happened at Wembley.
Yeah, losing that game in the way they did would have really hurt them, but they're up and running now with a good win over Rotherham, and I think they're going to be there or thereabouts at the end of this season, certainly.
So you share the optimism that the bookies have them down as title favourites?
Absolutely. I mean, they've lost the kind of unknown quantity that they had a little bit last season. But they're a good side. That team's been together for a little while now, and Steve McLaren is certainly a canny enough coach to get them out of that league.
As for one of the sides that came down from the Prem, we saw Cardiff play against Blackburn on Friday night, Leroy. Not quite the explosive start their fans were hoping to life in the Championship. First of all, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you're taking into consideration what happened last season, is he the right man to take them up? Well,
that remains to be seen, but Ollie wanted an explosive start, and you can see that from the team he picked. All the goal scorers out from the start, Maynard, Lafondra, Jones, so he wanted to go there and make a statement. And I just think you need a balance in the Championship, you can't just throw all your eggs in one basket, maybe just have a plan A, and I don't think he maybe had a plan B for that game. So I think he's not experienced at this level. We could say that about a lot of managers, but he needs to find a balance. And it's interesting, the Medell is on his way at the moment. Maybe just the sort of player they need to give the platform for those attacking players to go and do their best.
Well, it's been 21 long years since Brentford took their place in the second tier of the Football League. Last season's League One runners-up began life in the Championship at home to a new-look Charlton side in a London derby. Mark Warburton gave debuts to new signings Alex Pritchard, Moses Adubajo and Andre Gray, while Bob Peters included no fewer than 7 debutants in his first Charlton lineup. Commentary from Tony Husband.
Dallas patrolling the left touchline. Good period of possession this, and just wide. Well, first shot on goal. Alex Pritchard's been brought in to be strong from shooting positions, and a first sight of goal for the Tottenham loan signing. Pritchard kept it in. Adebayo can make the most of it here. Disappointing shot. Good work from Pritchard. Adebayo's left foot, very easy for Henderson. Goodmanson. Oh, he's opened them up, and this is a great opportunity. A great save as well from Button. Took it in, found himself one-on-one, and David Button stood tall. Great chance for the visiting side. The pass from McCormack. Bidwell has Judge lining one up. Took a deflection possibly, and Henderson parries it away and behind. And it did just take a deflection on the way through. Better from Charlton at the start of the second half. A save from Button, which is helped away by Bidwell. Better Kelly was the man who pulled the trigger. Byans with the cross. Tarkovsky's header, but it's going to come back potentially from Solly here. And there's the header and a good save, and off the post as well. The follow-up wide from Tucker-Dean. Charlton's front pair combining. Better Kelly's first effort, then the woodwork, then the shot wide. And Charlton come close again. Well, Mark Warburton's Brentford side had the best home record in League One last season. They won 19 times here. They were only beaten on 3 occasions in what was an outstanding promotion season. This is better. Pritchard's ball. This is Gray, and Henderson saved. Once again, it's Pritchard with the delivery and the header from Andre Gray. Peter Kelly showing quick feet. This is Cousins. And that took a touch off a Brentford boot. I think it was Douglas, and it's gone behind for a corner. Jackson will take it. Right in on the line and into the back of the net as well. Charlton have scored. Peter Kelly right on the line with the keeper. Button may have appeared to just bash it into his own net, but Charlton lead on the opening day. Peter Kelly will claim it right in front of the celebrating Charlton fans. Charlton are in front. First touch for the substitute, Tommy Smith. Smith's back pass, and the keeper hesitated for a moment, and Button's way out of range now. Could be a chance for Harriott. Oh, it's off the other side of the bar. Effectively an open goal. And the substitute spurns the chance by the narrowest of margins, and Brentford stay in the game. Harriott had effectively an open goal to aim for, and he crashed it off the underside of the crossbar. Tabar, Crossfits, Douglas, Dallas, red and white shirts queuing up. BK gets it away. McCormack
Still plenty of attacking threat there, all the way through for Tommy Smith. Smith! An equaliser for Brentford from